Hello. Group tracks are central to good song management. As soon as you get past a certain point, maybe 10, 15 tracks, things start to become a little bit unmanageable and you want to start collecting like-minded sounds together so that you can manage them in one place. And there are two ways primarily in Cubase to do that. Let's deal with group tracks first. So group tracks are where we collect sound together and we funnel two or more different sources of sound together in order to treat them from a single location to control their volume or to apply effects to them. And so we have several examples. This is Snowfall, a completed project. And the first group track we have is the bass master bus. So the bass master bus takes two separate bass feeds of identical signal. This is two completely identical bass lines, one of which is playing a very low bass line, and then the other one covers all the high frequencies. And when you join those two together, that's what you hear. Now you can see when I unmuted the low bass that they're both now active and they're both feeding into the master bus. So whenever you solo a track that's feeding into a bus, the bus itself will intrinsically be activated as well. So again, let's do that. If I solo this low track here, then you can see that the bass master bus gets turned on, as does the master bus right at the end of the chain, and then the stereo out. Everything that you need in order to get that signal to the outside world gets unmuted when you're in solo mode. Because obviously it makes no sense for the track itself to be active in solo if the group that it's being fed into is muted. That will kill the sound. So Cubase knows that, and it unlocks the entire chain all the way up. Now the vocals have a more complex arrangement for their tracks, so let's have a look at that. So we have the main vocal here, and that stands all on its own. And if we have a look at where that's going to, it's feeding into the vocals master bus. These tracks down here, however, are harmony tracks. So these are individual instances of me singing just one track, and you can see that there are many of them, and by layering them together you get a fuller, thicker, richer sound. So now I need to be able to control each one of those individually, but I also want to route them all to a single point of contact where I can increase or decrease the volume or apply effects to the entire male harmony choir. And that's what this is. This male harm bus here takes all of these 10 inputs into it, and we can see that. Let's have a look at the mixer. So here we have male harm 1 all the way down to male harm 10, and every one of those feeds into the male harm bus, the harmony bus. And there they all are. And then at the end of that group here is the male harmony bus. That in turn feeds into the vocals master bus. We have an identical setup for the female harmonies. So here are in this case, 18 tracks of female harmony. They all feed into the female harmony bus. The female harmony bus feeds into the vocals master bus, and the vocals master bus finally feeds into the total, the grand master bus. And so we have this multiple layered hierarchy where we get to control each stage of that chain. So here's the vocals master bus, I can control the entire sound of all the vocals, the lead vocals, all the harmonies, female and male, all from one place. Or I can just affect the female harmony vocals, either its volume or any effects. There aren't any effects on that particular channel. And there's the male one again. There's the master volume. In fact, we've got read information on that one. And then finally, here's the main vocal line itself. So it has lots of processing. This is the, you know, the primary melody line, but it feeds into the vocals master bus. Creating group tracks and assigning stuff to them is really, really easy. So if I just randomly select these tracks here, so that was click one track, then hold shift down and click another track, and it selects everything in between. I then go over to the mixer channel, find those tracks. Here they are, they're all selected. If I right click, add group channel to selected channels, this is what we want. And then it will ask us what the group is going to look like. Every group track that I create stereo. Audio outputs, this is going to determine where the group track is feeding into. Now, because this is a vocals group, we could send it to the vocals master bus. Or these are female harmonies, so we're extracting some of the female harmonies out and sending them into their own group. So logically, that group in turn wants to go to the female harmony bus. Create outside folder, I always do. Name. Okay, here's our group. It doesn't know what color to make it because it doesn't know what type of group it is, but because it's a vocal group, pick pink. And now let's have a look at that in the mixer, what's going on. So here are the tracks that we were just messing with. Each one of those is now going to temp group. Temp group in turn goes to female harmony bus, and female harmony bus eventually goes on to the vocals master bus. So we've now separated those 6 tracks out for some kind of bespoke processing on them. It's as easy as that. That's how easy it is to create groups and assign tracks to them. In addition to creating groups to help with organizing our sounds, we can create folders to help with our visual organization. And this project has folders. So we have a female harmony folder here. I can collapse that and all the female harmonies disappear. I have another one for male harmony, bang. And then finally vocals itself has a folder. So now all of the vocals are contained within this single line. Single click the folder, expands it out. Single click the harmonies, expand them out again. Notice that when we collapse the folders, they're all still visible in the mixer. So we don't lose the ability to manipulate the data, we just take it away from our project view. If we're not processing those tracks at the moment, we don't particularly need to see them. So we can create folders. Again, that's incredibly simple. We add folder, call it a name, blah, blah. Here's our folder. Again, doesn't know what kind of data it is. It's defaulting to colors set in the preferences over here. User interface, track type, default colors. And the folder is classed as an other. And then once we've created the folder, we can put anything we want into it. So we could pick up this guitar track here. And as we drag it to the folder, see how the green line goes through the middle of the track. It's either on the outside or it's in the middle. If it's in the middle and I drop it, it will go inside that folder. Close that folder, track disappears. So between group tracks and folders, we have a lot of flexibility for how we manage our project, trying to keep it as neat as you can. It's perfectly acceptable to create group tracks purely for organizational purposes, and you're not actually applying any processing to them, just to have a master slider, a master location where you can control all of those tracks all at once, that's absolutely fine. Similarly with folders, it's just a visual aid. It has no impact on the sound whatsoever. This guitar sound has not been altered whatsoever by putting it inside the folder. It's just a means by which we can hide or display stuff. And that's it. Not complicated at all, but really simple, really useful, very powerful effect. Thanks very much for watching this video, and hopefully see you next time.